Hi guys, and welcome to the VOX Couch, which is part of the 5-Minute Singer series. And today I'm very happy to have with me Brad Marr from the Melbourne band Massive, and you guys are signed through Earache with a 5-album deal. How's everything going, Brad? Thanks for coming down. I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. Thanks for spending some time with us here. How's everything going?
It's going very well, man. You know, having a bit of a calm before the storm, you know, moment before we get back on tour, and you know, back in the studio now. So we've been working hard for the last few months, but yeah, all systems go for us at Massive, mate.
Mate, you had a massive year last year, pardon the pun, but mate, you toured the world in support of your critically acclaimed 2013 album's debut album, Full Throttle. Now you supported some great bands and did some great things. Tell us a little bit about what you did in support of the album overseas. Well,
we toured with a band called The Treatment, who are here for Soundwave very soon. They were a great band across the UK. We also joined up with our label mates Blackberry Smoke. And right across Europe, those guys were killing it over there. So
beautiful.
We joined up with them. We did Hard Rock Hell as well, which was a big festival in Wales, and some real heritage bands on that bill. And Melbourne mates, Electric Mary, were there as well. So we joined up with them for a show or two. So I mean, it was a crazy time, but you know, back to the drawing board now and back on the road very soon. So I'm sure there'll be many more to come.
What was the response like over there? What was the crowd response like over there to you guys? Because it was obviously your first album. So what was that like?
It was great. We had a great pre-run, like, you know, a bit of promotion before we got there. So when we had this giant billboard sitting on the M4 on the way through past Heathrow Airport. So you know, there was a lot of people already knowing about us, so it was really good. But
that's fantastic. Yeah,
it was great exposure. But Europeans and people right across that continent love rock and roll music. Like they thrive off it, and you get there and you don't know what to expect. And within one song, they're just jumping, they're just moshing the whole way. So you know, it was a new experience for us. We're used to the subtle Melbourne crowds and the Australian crowds that stand there with their arms crossed and watch and listen. These people don't listen at all, they just go crazy. So
that's fantastic. Mate, what was the highlight of that? Because I know that you told me that you I think you jammed Highway to Hell, that you're saying that was one of the highlights. Can you tell us a little bit about that, or if there was any other highlights with, on the tour there as well?
There was heaps of highlights, mate, but the last show we did with Blackberry Smoke, we crossed half of Europe with those boys, and their manager came up and goes, 20 minutes before Soundcheck, do you boys want to do a song with Blackberry Smoke tonight? We go, yeah, man, that'd be great. What are we doing? Oh, I don't know, some AC/DC. So we had to run backstage and learn it, and we hadn't practiced it. We just got up on stage, and Stockholm was a sellout. There was 1,500, 2,000 people. That was huge, and without any practice or anything, we all just got up and nailed it. We played it really well. So to do something like that and just have that crowd just in your face.
So every Australian rock fan should know.
Oh, we know it. Anyway. No, but we knew it. We didn't want to. It's sacrilege to stuff it up though. So
exactly. Mate, we know you have a massive range and a massive voice. What's your pre and post gig vocal preparation and routine? Tell us a bit about what you do.
Yeah, well, I don't talk a lot before the gig. Especially when you're doing day in and day out, show after show, you have to preserve your voice. So for 3 or 4 hours before the gig, I wouldn't talk. I'd wear headphones, even if I wasn't listening to music. I'd have headphones in, and people wouldn't talk to you, so you didn't have to talk back. So up until the gig, just drinking water and not talking saves your voice so much more than you realise. So up to the gig, I only take about 20 minutes before the gig warming up. I don't over warm up. I might sing a song before I go on stage to make sure I've got the right tone and right, I'm feeling good. But a quick 20-minute run of just scales and stuff I picked up on my phone, just listening to it. So that's all I do. And if I can have 4 hours of not talking before it, which is amazing, which you never get, that means my voice is real crystal clear when I get up there. So
beautiful.
After the gig, it's hard because especially for where we're at, we've got to run to the merch stand, we've got to meet and greets and stuff like that, and there's always an interview or something you've got to do. So you end up talking a lot after the show, but it's as much water as you can and just cool down as much as you can before you go back out, because if you've got all that adrenaline, you start shouting and you start yelling, especially if there's music blaring out through the PA still. So it's more about reserving how much voice you use.
Yeah.
You know, and don't blowing your voice talking to a crazy fan. So
yeah, especially if you've got gig after gig, so that's probably really good advice for the people that are watching here as well too. What about sound check, Brad? Did you have many sound checks when you were touring overseas?
we had a sound check every night.
So every night. So what time is that generally?
It was about 4:30. Shows were usually between 8, 9 or 10 o'clock. So, I mean, yeah, you try not to sing much in soundcheck.
Yeah.
I barely sang. I would sing maybe half a song or something just so I can hear my vocals and get it right. But that's not the important part of singing. You just got to make sure your fallbacks are on in soundcheck. You don't want to do something crazy and blow your voice out 4 hours before the gig. So. And
what's your pre-recording vocal preparation as well too? And do you do anything different?
In the studio, you can cheat a little bit because you're in there for 10 hours sometimes singing. So. Yeah. You know, warming up at the start of the day and hoping your voice doesn't last for 10 hours is not going to work. You'll be buggered by the end. So, you know, you have your honey and your ginger water and whatever you've got there ready to go. And I in the studio, I do lots of little warm-ups. I'll have to sing for the next hour. So I'll do a warm-up and I'll get my body warmed up. I'll do some runs and just, you know, it's a lot of stuff just to make my muscles a bit warm. Yeah. Yeah. And you sit there with your lemon and honey and ginger water and stuff like that. But again, if you're singing for a block of 6 or 7 or 8 hours in the studio, you've got to preserve what you've got. So I would really sing hard for an hour and then I would say I need an hour just to relax a bit and and then I'll do a quick little warm up again for another hour of hard singing and I guess it's the way I get through it. I mean, everyone will be different, so as long as your voice feels good while you're doing it, then it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. Look, I know I do the same thing as well too. So again, that's great advice because I know when I'm teaching big runs of like 6, 7, 8 hours, I have breaks in between, but sometimes I do 2 or 3 hours in a row. I'm trying to keep my voice warmed up as well too. I have a little warm up before I start my next block of teaching as well too. So it's probably similar to what you do in the studio. You're doing a block, resting, warming up slightly again. So the same thing with myself. I do the same thing. I warm up and cool down as well too. I'm always keeping room temperature or warm water there as well too, so I'm keeping my cords lubricated as well too.